Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I just play the music to string this along and make it longer and more painful, but here we are, Crab World Lesson 4. And let's see what's next. Alright, as you know, red text means stop. One of you needs to take notes, and the green text means go. It's time for you to do something. You can take notes as a team if you would like. Purple means there's new code to look at. Alright, day one. Adding objects automatically. You played the crab game, and every time you start it, you have to place the actors. That's bad. If you play a video game in the arcade or on the Xbox, you don't have to add the stuff in. It automatically shows up. So we're going to make it happen automatically. So let's take a look. What is placed on the screen automatically already? There is something when you play the game, Crab World, something's automatically there. Tell me what it is. That's question number one. Write it down on the notes. What's already there? Okay, open up the Crab World source code from Chapter 3, and we're going to save it in a new folder called Chapter 4. Alright, so here's what we're going to do is you're going to go into your Chapter 3 folder. Okay, you're going to take your best version of the Crab World. Everybody, by the way, do this. Some of you guys don't do this when I tell you to do it. Everybody, please do this right now. Alright, so go into Chapter 3, find the cleanest version of your Crab World, not one that you use for the crab challenge, but the one where you just did everything from Chapter 3, like I said, and copy that one. So we'll right click this, we're going to copy it. Okay, so you go into your stuff, so you're going to go into your programming folder. There's Chapter 3, just copied it out of there. You're going to make a new folder called Chapter 4, and we're going to paste it in here. I already did, and I called it Chapter 4. Okay, so do that, and let's take a look at it. Okay, let's take a look at it, and basically I'm going to go to show you the crab world. So I went into the world. Take a look at this. Here's what we're going to be exploring right now, this thing that says public crab world. And this is kind of interesting because normally it looks like a method, right? It kind of looks like a method, but a normal method will say public void or give you some sort of a type, but it doesn't. So we're going to talk about what this is and what this does. I'll give you a hint. It's called a constructor. Okay, so open up Crab World source code from Chapter 3 and save it in a new folder called Chapter 4. Okay, so we're going to continue to talk about how to add objects automatically. So when you look at the Crab World, we have the usual import statements that basically says, hey, this is a world, and it can do everything that Greenfoot can do, and so on and so forth. So it's saying, hey, here's what it can do. And then here is the class signature, the class header. So we're saying, hey, we're making a new class called Crab World, and it is a world, but that's called the class signature. And then this thing right here that we looked at is the constructor of the class. Okay, and basically what it does, it sets the world to the size we want. So we're saying, hey, the world is 560 squares by 560 squares, and each square is 1 pixel, so the smallest unit. Okay, so that's what that does. So the answer to the question before, what is already placed on the screen? Well, the world is already placed on the screen automatically. So that's not something that just happens. This code right here actually tells that to happen. Okay, constructors, a special kind of method that is always automatically executed whenever an instance of a class is created. Write that down. There's no return type, and it's always the same as the name of the class. So if we look back, that's kind of an odd thing, public crab world, so the constructor name is always the same. Okay, all right, write this down if you haven't done so. Hit pause and copy these notes down to your paper. Alright, so what we're going to try to do is automatically create a new crab in the crab world. So what you're going to do is you're going to add the code add object new crab 150 100. Okay, so this code will automatically create a new crab, and it's going to place it at location 150 for the x coordinate, and the y coordinate will be 100. Okay, so it's basically saying, hey, I want to add something, it needs to be a crab, and I want you to stick it in this particular location. Okay, so you guys are going to do that. Add the code to the crab world constructor of your own project to create a crab automatically, as we discussed. So do this right here to your project and save it. Pause, and then when you get that done, keep going. Okay, we're going to talk about the coordinate system. So basically it's 150 cells from the left and 150 cells from the top. So basically what it's saying is the x is 100, so we're going to go over 150 squares this way, and then we're going to go down 100 cells this way. So those are the x and y coordinates. Alright, so write this down and draw this so you can remember forever that this is the origin, the 0, 0, these are the x coordinates, and these are the y coordinates. Okay, put those in your notes. Okay, add object method. The add object method is a method of the world class. Okay, so you can use this in the world. You can't really use this, you can't use this to talk to anybody else, but you can use this to talk to the world. And this is a command, not a question. You're saying, hey, I want you to do something. I want you to add something to the world. It has 3 parameters. Okay, so what are you going to add? And what's the x coordinate and the y coordinate? And I want you to answer the question, what are the data types of the 3 parameters? Take these notes, answer the questions. Okay, there's also the keyword, the new, and a keyword is basically a word that Java has. You have to use this for a particular reason, and basically what it's saying is I don't want to add or just move something around that already exists. I want to add a brand new one. Okay, Java objects can be created programmatically. What that means is instead of adding them by hand, you can add them using programming by using the new keyword, which will make a brand new one and add another one to the world. Take these notes. Creating new objects. Alright, here are your exercises. Here's all the things that you have to do. Okay, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. So you guys just hit pause, start going down these things and doing them. Okay, get all those things done. Let me show you something though. Let me show you what it's going to look like. It's going to look a little something like this when you're done. So basically when I hit reset, you can see that it's going to put the crab and 3 lobsters, but also notice that the worms are being placed randomly. So let's take a look at what my crab world is going to look like. Okay, so we have, here's the constructor, public crab world, super 560, 561, we know what that does. And then take a look at this method call, populate world. And so basically we're going to put all of our stuff down here in this method called populate world. So it automatically adds a crab in the same spot every time. It adds the lobsters in the same spot every time. And then you're going to add how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to add 10 worms, and you can see that we're sticking them in random locations every time by using the getRandomNumber method. Okay, so and notice that we're continuing on with the threaded coding. Everything we do is going to be threaded code, so this is nice and clean. Okay, so that's pretty much what you guys are going to do. Let's get back to the thing. Okay, so this is what we're going to do here. Okay, now let's take a look at our quiz. If we want something to appear automatically, where do we type the code? What is a constructor? Why does the addObject method need 3 parameters? What does it mean that Java objects can be created programmatically? Answer those questions on your notes. I'll quiz you. Greenfoot Chapter 4 Day 1 quiz. Number 5, what is this called? Number 6, what is this called? Number 7, what do these numbers do? 560, 561. Answer those questions. Number 8, draw a grid and indicate where is the origin. So make an arrow to the origin. Where would a crab grow on the grid if this code was executed? Add object new crab 5 to draw that crab on your grid, and I'll quiz you on that.